must decide when is the right time and the wrong time to use it.
Welcome back to the Talk to Your Hanger. This is Mike, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Deformation Space Recording Alliance. Their take on a very G1-esque blaster. And so far, this thing is a pretty good-looking figure overall. It actually looks better in hand than I thought it would. And we're going to get into looking at the good and the bad, the plus and the minuses, a bit of comparisons. But I did get this at Show Z. You can get yours there too. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours. So let's take a look at Recording Alliance. Coming up. Here's the box. Really nothing to speak of at all. The box, it's very, very simple and plain, and it's just getting the job done on a budget. I like that. Alright, so taking a closer look at this guy, he actually does look really good. And that flat matte paint that's going on, or the finish that's going on with it, in hand, it looks very cartoonish, like he just walked out of the cartoon, which is what they're going for. And kind of the same way with the Seekers that they had. That's kind of the feeling I've got right here. So much better in hand. But we will talk about in comparisons what I'd like to see maybe on a future release. So anyway, getting into a few things with him, there is a really nice head sculpt that he has, and metallic blue eyes going on right there. Looks great. And then I believe this is painted also, and I'm already starting to see a little bit of paint rub here and there. So that's the downside to painting it all the way. And it's kind of cool though, the fact that it's painted. We have this area here red on this double elbow joint, and it matches the arm. A lot of times when you use paint and plastic, that doesn't match. So of course with paint, it does match. Going down here, we've got a red right here and some paint going on there. But it almost just looks like it's simple and plain, kind of like the G1 toy, which is what I thought. But again, when we get to comparisons, we'll see all of that. Feet are die cast. So that's nice, but I think that's really the only place I felt die-cast so far. Maybe there's some die-cast I'm just missing, but very clean, smooth, and then the screws are, of course, in the back, which is not that big of a deal. And really, I mean, not really a whole lot of screws considering that they're all put in the back there. Looking great. Great-looking design, great-looking figures so far. Let's get into some accessories. First accessory is his gun, and it is very G1-esque looking blaster gun. Very simple. I don't see any paint on it at all, and it holds in place very well, very solid, so I do like that. So his other accessory is his face, and I'm not big on swapping out faces, so you can just kind of see the difference in the expressions and what's going on right there, so I'm just not really into popping it in and popping it out and all that kind of stuff. But, okay looking faces. And then we've got these two things, so let's go ahead and get that working right now, see how we can get this going, and what we're going to do is open up his arm right here, and then it kind of folds out, and then so you're sort of partially transforming it. But I found that it's kind of easy, just real quick, if you're just going to use that accessory, if you're not transforming it all the way, you could literally just leave the fingers out. I didn't see that it caused me any problems with articulation or anything. So that's what I'm just going to do right quick here. I'll get this all the way down though. Put these on. Yeah, if that's the thing that you want to do, then you can do it. Now remember, the hands need to be fists for your transformation. This is just a quick, easy way to just pop these on and look at them, and so I wouldn't do heavy articulation. Doing it my cheap little cheat trick there. Alright, now with his hands back out, let's go ahead and do some quick articulation. So head side to side, up and down, and pretty much everything you would need with the head there. You do have shoulder double, sort of a double shoulder right here, giving you quite a bit of range. Bicep swivel, as always, double jointed at the elbow. Hands are great. I know a lot of people in the past have complained about KFC hands. So if you're upgrading your KFC to this, much better hands. You've got really 2 points of articulation on each one of these. You can do a gotcha if you really want to, and all that kind of stuff. So, but great hands. Oh, wrong one for the gotcha. Okay, I didn't get anybody yet. So they feel solid too. So this is something that I never really cared about, like a hands, whatever. but they feel solid compared to some of the other ones. All right, so waist swivel, very, very tight waist swivel, ab crunch, which is really, I mean, all you would need. And then the hips are cool. As you can see, I kind of had them adjusted lower. You can have them lower or taller, so you can have it look however you want. And you can get really far out and there to the back, here to the front. I do have what appears to be like some paint issues right there already. So this little area here can be an issue for paint rubbing, obviously. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee. Not quite getting like MP44 double jointed, but doesn't really matter. And then the foot, the die-cast foot, moves down, around. It's got some range, but not as much as I would think. But it's still fine. Great for some poses and getting pretty much everything you could expect. Now, I don't really consider him an accessory. Say hello to his little friend here. So their little Ramhorn. Another thing that I saw the pictures and thought it looked terrible in the pictures, and I even said it a few times. So I'm ordering him anyway, but he's not bad actually. A little better than I thought he would be. So there's some articulation in the legs, so you can kind of get 1, 2, 3 points of articulation in each leg, which is cool. His horn is solid. It's not like it's going to fall off. His head is kind of split down the middle, and there's his little tail. It's actually a pretty decent little figure. It's not really bad. So kind of makes me wonder, are they going to make the rest of these? Or are they going to have like a cassette pack coming? Because that would be pretty cool. So here he is sandwiched between some KFC. We got the, you can see what they look like. Let's get this guy here out of the way. And side by side, one thing about the KFC is a giant horn, which always fell off and broke. I've done nothing with this. I literally got it in this form and just kept it and never touched the horn, because I've had a horn fall off of another one of mine with KFC. Anyway, with that, let's tempt fate. Super delicate horn there, but anyway, this is a much more solid horn and a much more solid figure than what KFC gave us. But KFC, we actually had something for a while, so it's nice to have it. And the head seems real tiny on this. That was like my biggest disappointment. Would have liked a little bit bigger head on the guy, but it does have kind of a nice shiny weapon. Also, it clips on, off, and we're going to see that in the transformation, how that works. Okay, so let's transform this little guy here, and we're going to fold up all of his feet on each side. Lots of fun there. These are distracting me. Okay, so with that, then we're going to split his head apart, and then split this apart. Opens it up, opens this up, slide these down, and then fold them over, and then we can fold this down, which, why is that not tabbing in? It's a heck of a tight tab. All right, same thing on this side. Fold this over, that goes down. Tab that in, fold that up, and then this on this side, we fold all this over to here, and then plug these in. Do I have that in the right spot? Well, one goes there, and that one goes there, and we have his cassette. So let's go see what it looks like in his chest. Here it is in his chest. It's a really tight fit. I'm not going to close it up, but keeping it where it's easy enough to still get it out of there. So yeah, there's ways to do it, to take them, partially transform them, untransform or whatever, and pop it out from the back. But anyway, it fits. It looks pretty good. All right, for comparison, first time I saw this figure, I thought, well, that's just G1 with more articulation. But now that I kind of have it at hand and I see it, it is a massive, massive improvement to the G1 design, but still kind of faithful to the G1 design. So really, it does look great. But next to the G1, you can see how it homages it so well. And yeah, it just kind of upgrades big time from what we got back in the day. Here he is next to the KFC metallic finish version. So you can kind of see the bling on this metallic, which I love. And I want to say this. If Deformation Space comes out with a paint job like this, I'm on it. I'm on it immediately. Even though I do like the tuned look, there's just something about that metallic that gets me. So Anyway, yeah, size-wise, I kind of have his hips adjusted down a bit, so he's a little bit taller. I mean, you could probably make him the exact same size, but if you look at him, like, his head's bigger than his head, so that's kind of interesting difference right there. And it seems like the chest piece is a little bit bigger, and this is a lot more cartoon. That is way more stylized. Looking at the side view, and almost no kibble whatsoever. I mean, I would say no kibble whatsoever on Deformation Space. This is really old. This is so old. It's like, I'd say my third-party figure, and what got me to go deeper into third-party. So I got a lot of history with this guy. So yeah, that cleans up so much better. So much better. All right, I'm back. I had to go list the KFC one on Let Go real quick. So this one is Transform Element, which a lot of people feel it's the same company. I mean, I did just by looking at them. They look very, very similar in just kind of design and all of that. And then this is the KO Silverleg MP44. So you can kind of see size, scale, height. I mean, that really works for me. I mean, back in the day, Blaster towered over Optimus Prime in the G1, but of course G1 did not care about scale. And this is aesthetic. What do you think? Which one would you put him next to? So here he's compared to the Robot Paradise or the Fans Toys version of Soundwave, and they look good together. They look like a nice little pair. They both have that toon aesthetic. I mean, there's a few bits of bling bling, which really no bling on this guy at all. See, a little bit of bling. And I really think that these two look great. If this is going to be your pair on the shelf, that works. I feel like I'm going to be sitting here 3 to 5 short years from now comparing Fans Toys Blaster to the Robot Paradise. But hey, we'll see that in 3 to 5 years. So let's get them transformed up. Like always, we start with the hands, and we're going to flip them, well, kind of like this. And there's that. And then rotate this around, fold this up to here, and tab it into the back right there. Let's see, it's got to be lined up just right. There it is. There's that, and then you fold out this tab here. Get on in there. And there's that. So we've got one arm ready to go. Do the same thing on the other side. I do want to say, the tabs tab in really tight, so sometimes it feels a little bit scary to untab them, so. And the joints are real tight. They got to be exactly at the right angles for all of this. I mean, it's all right angles, so. You've got it right if the angles are right? So there's that. Pop this open. Okay, this needs to come out. This comes out here. And then the head is going to tuck into the back. And then this is going to come up. Flip this dude around and tab it in like so. So there we go. Looking like we could probably do this piece right now. I don't see why not. That is tight. All right, so it's coming together, starting to. Now we need to do the legs. Let's see here. Let's get in on this leg here. So we untab this right there. Pulled everything out, but this all has to clear this foot, which is fun. Let's go ahead and get this out of here. Untab that piece. We want to get the foot as much range as possible to fold this over, and it folds over. And then we can get the foot up into here, which is nice. Then this folds around. Now what this is a filler. It's actually to look like G1. It's a filler made to look exactly like it's a G1 toy, so that's kind of cool. We need to flip this around. There we go. And we're going to bring this up. Now you got to get this alignment kind of just right, so we might have to fiddle with aligning this a bit. So let's put this back up. All right, we're going to fold this over like so, and then there's this tab here, which we're going to tab it in here. I guess we can tab it in right now. Get that tabbed in right there. I think this tab's right here. This tab's right here. And I think it'll hold in better when the other leg's in there. We can fold this down right here. And then we'll finish with the top here in just a bit. So that's kind of how the whole leg goes. Did the whole leg at once, not splitting it up. Makes it, I think, a little bit easier in a way to kind of conceptualize everything. Now, yeah, this back piece here, gosh, I didn't fold it down. There we go. Okay, we'll be dealing with that here in a second. Okay, so like the other side, fold all this out. And then we're going to take this tab here down. I think it's tight. Okay, and then we have to get as much of an ankle movement as we can to clear that without scraping or scratching anything. Then we can fold this toe up into here, and then flipping around this little piece, the filler. Get some filler, and then lift this up and rotate this around, which is, it does feel a little scary. That actually does feel scary, to tell you the truth. Alright, now we have this tab. And we're going to go ahead and do this the right way this time. Untab this back piece. And it's going to fold out like so, so that when you fold it all over, fold it all over like so. Okay, I think I have this too low, and we can go in here and start connecting stuff. So gotta have that waist piece just right. It's got to be the right angle and all that kind of stuff. So tab this in to here. There we go. So there's tabs right here that have to go into these panels, which it's all tabbing in at once here, and then those go into here. And then on the back we have these pieces that fold out and into there. That did not sound good. That one went in real easy. Then this kind of opens up and we have an over and under. And I have to kind of go back around and get all these tabs tightened up, but that's the gist of this thing. Let me tighten all that up real quick. Oh. I missed this panel. There it is. Now it's all done. Alright, so here it is in the boombox, but literally I turned the camera off and just pushed it together and it just all tightened up. Wish I could have gotten that on camera. But anyway, I did need to fold this piece back down. Be careful, make sure that you've got these arm shoulder fillers up and in place. But yeah, nice looking alt mode overall. It looks great. Not the easiest to get to, but not horrible. It's not horrible. It makes sense conceptually, and it's probably way easier off camera, I guess. But everything on camera is a little bit harder, so a little scarier too. So yeah, looks pretty good. We still have the function of needs help this time or something. What's it needing help for? Okay, anyway, still has that function. Still put a cassette in there, theoretically. And see, none of these I don't feel comfortable with putting it in the robot paradise. I don't feel comfortable with any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyhow, let's do some comparisons with this guy. All right, so here it is side by side next to good old G1, and you can kind of see the G1 inspiration and all that kind of stuff. It works. I mean, the G1 was a great looking boombox, and G1 alt modes were number 1, bot modes were number 2, a very distant number 2, but yeah, looks pretty good. And here he is next to the Takara Soundwave. Yeah, Takara Soundwave looks really good in the boombox mode though, or Sony Walkman mode, so yeah, pretty cool. It fits, it works. If this is how you want to display it, I don't think you'll be too upset. This has been my look at the Deformation Space Recording Alliance, their take on a G1 blaster, and I like it. I like it. It's not perfect. The paint has some paint rub. Joints are really tight, which I don't think is a big problem because it holds every pose I need it to. But if they made a metallic repaint, I'd definitely pick it up. So that was like my biggest complaint would be, I'm gonna have to pick up another one if they do a metallic. If they don't do metallic, I'll stick with this one. A lot of people are looking forward to the Fans Toys. I just don't see how Fans Toys would improve on this much more than just paint. But aside from that, he looks the part. He is a very solid upgrade and just way better than I kind of imagined, because of the fact that I just thought it would just be like the G1 toy, slightly improved, but it is way better with engineering and aesthetic and paint and feel and quality. It does feel very quality, very tight. In that tightness feels like quality. Not so much diecast though. I would have liked more diecast, but they're trying to hit a price point at around $130 to $140. It is an excellent value. And so yeah, cheap box, but a good figure. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you going to pick one up? You can get one. It shows you. I'll have a link. Like, subscribe. Now, Dear Hanger out.
Bingo! Finally, some action. I'll get it all down on tape.
Great sounds!
Extra train, weld him into place. He will make an excellent trans-scrambler. I'm trying. I did, Brad. I did save the day. Yes, Blaster. But remember, your volume, like any capability, is also a responsibility.